On today's lesson, we're going to take an in-depth look at one of my favorite metal solos of all time, The Killing Road by Megadeth. Well, hey there kids, and welcome to a brand new installment of Weekend Wankshop, here with your best buddy, Uncle Ben. You know guys, whenever the subject of the best solos from the Marty Friedman era of Megadeth come up, we all inevitably think about Tornado of Souls and Lucretia and stuff like that. With good reason, they are amazing. But in my opinion, one of the greatest of the bunch is his solo from The Killing Road off of the Youthanasia record. Which, by the way, is way underrated. Some great riffs and killer production on that album. Marty kicks the solo section off with a ridiculous shred fest that's full of his signature isms, like those sliding two-string arpeggios and his awesome vibrato. And then Dave Mustaine joins in at the end there with a short solo that I think is one of his most melodic and memorable that he's ever done. Overall, the entire thing is just plain awesome, and there's a lot that we can learn from it. Before we get into it, let's hear it again at stepdad speed. Full tabs for this lesson are available on my Instagram page at Ben Eller Guitar. Search for hashtag Weekend Wankshop 237, find the tabs, learn how to play it, then upload a video of yourself shredding through it, along with the hashtag Weekend Wankshop. And as always, downloadable tabs, backing tracks, bonus lessons, and all kinds of goodies are available to my loyal supporters on my Patreon page at patreon.com/Ben Eller Guitars. And don't worry, you don't have to lose your mind or all of your money to join in. Even $1 a month gets you access to all kinds of good stuff. So don't delay, join today. Quick word about the tuning and tone. So I'm tuned down a perfect half step. So E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat, you know the drill. But if you listen to the original Youthanasia album, you'll notice that it's not quite a half step down. It's kind of like 3/4 of a half step, which mathematically works out to a little bit higher than a half step down. I suspect this is probably due to a mastering thing where they recorded the album down a half step, then whenever they were mastering it, maybe the tape speed was a little bit high, which means the pitch of everything went up a little bit and the songs turned out slightly faster than they were recorded as. Another example of that happening on a classic record is Ride the Lightning by Metallica. Tone-wise, I'm using my Ibanez RG 550 right here from 1990 something. 24 fret guitar, you gotta have 24 frets to play one lick in this entire thing. So I chose that one. It's got the Fishman Fluence classic pickups, and I'm playing straight into my Fractal Axe FX 3. And I'm using just a totally stock preset. This is under the Petrucci rig. This is the Learning to Lead preset. It's kind of weird because, you know, it's definitely like a Mesa kind of sound like Joe Patrumi usually uses with Dream Theater. Megadeth has always used like Marshalls and Rocktrons, and Marty even used like the Crate Blue Voodoo and stuff for a while. Nothing like a Mesa, but this just sounded so damn good. So if you got the Axe FX3, Just put it on that and you're cooking. Okay, I'm gonna go through these licks kind of quickly here, so be sure to follow along quickly with the tab. Otherwise it would just take an hour and a half to explain all this stuff because there's so many little nuances that Marty puts into his playing. So this will be brisk. First thing in the solo is just a little slide down the neck. That's followed by this lick. Now what I'm doing there is I'm sliding into that 9th fret on the A string, 8D, 11D, then go to the G here and play 11 and 9, and then the 11 on the D again. Outlining like an F#7 arpeggio right there. The next one's a little bit different. 9th A, 8th on the D, 11th D, then go here to the G string and play 7 and 9. Next what you're going to do is hit that 9 and slide up to 11. It's got a little bit of a rake to it right there too. Friedman does a lot of those rakes, real aggressive with that right flipper that he plays with, so kind of rake into that slide. So now you got this. You're going to play the 9, 7, so that was 11, 9, 7, and then play this. Now what I'm doing there is I'm hitting that 7, hammer on pull off really quickly to 9, slide down to 6, and then pick the 6 again. Then do the same idea but from this position in the scale. Hit the 6, quick hammer on pull off to 7, slide down to 4, pick the 4. So that stuff on the G string has been. After this we're going to play. So this is the 3 and 4 on the G string. Go back to the 3 and do a quick half step bend. Then you gotta play the 4 on the D and slide up to 11. Then slide into your 11th fret G. Okay, so 11th D, 11th G. Then we got this odd lick. Now what I'm doing there is I'm playing the G on 9, 11, and 12. And then on the B string here, play 10, 11, then hit that 11 again and do a half step bend. And then let it back down. Weird stuff right there. And then we play one of my favorite licks here. Now how I'm doing that is I'm playing on the B string here, I'm gonna play 14, 12, 11, 12, and then you're gonna play the 14 again and do pull-offs to 12 and 11. He might be picking more or less of those. It's really hard to tell the way that it's phrased and how hard he plays, you know? If you picked an extra note in there, it's probably not gonna matter that much. Then go back to the 12. Then we're gonna play this lick. So this is the 11th G, 12 and 14 on the B. Then on the high E string here, play 10, hammer pull off to 14. Then on the B, you're gonna play 14, 12, 11th G, 12th B. Okay, so that whole lick is like this. And then we start into the first big arpeggio section here that outlines a bunch of F# stuff. This is tough, it's got some big old stretches in it and a lot of sliding around. It's kind of hard to describe, so listen closely as we go through these and make sure you're phrasing these just right. Again, use the tab on the Instagram page. I have a public profile, you don't have to have an Instagram account or anything to access it. So be sure to use that and follow along close. That's what we're about to talk about. What I'm doing right here is I'm starting off by sliding into the 8 on the D string, and then I'm gonna play this on the G. This is the 11, pulling to 6. Play that 8th D again, do the pull off lick again, 11 to 6. Play the 8th D again, and then you're gonna play just the 11 on the G. So it's like this, sliding in, pull off, single note. Now the reason I'm pointing out the single note is because he's gonna slide that up to 15 to play the next section. So ultimately it's kind of like this. After you reach this position, what you're going to do is play more of that F# arpeggio. Now I'm playing the 15 on the G, pulling to 11, then playing the 11 on the D. Do that again, and then do just the pull-off part. So that was pull, pull, slide, pull, pull, pull. The next section follows that same idea. Pull, 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 slide, pull, pull, pull. Here's the next lick. Now what I'm doing here is I'm playing that B string and G string. I'm gonna play the B, 14, pulling off to 11, and then the 11 on the G. Do it again. Then you're gonna do the pick and slide. So you're gonna play the 14 on the B, slide up to 17. So that's And once you're in this position, play this. So this is the 17B pulling off to 14, then the 15 on the G. Okay, so once, twice, 3 times a lady. Just do that pull off there at the end. I want to give you guys a little insight about how I like to pick through these arpeggios, these and the high ones that come up at the end of the solo. It's really fast and tricky, but I found this is what works well for me. I'll show you what I do and then give you an idea of what I suspect Marty probably does. So I'm kind of an outside picking guy, which means if there's a pair of strings, I kind of like to stay on the outer edges of them rather than trying to be stuck in the middle like that. So whenever I play these arpeggios, I always start with an upstroke followed by a pull off. That gives my pick enough time to get above the D string to do a downstroke. That's how I play all of them. Up, pull, down, up, pull, down, up, pull, you know? Even the high ones that we'll do later on, I do the same way. Now, as for Marty, again, I can't really say for sure, but he is a extremely aggressive downward pick slanting player. His pick is really cocked up at an angle like that, which means double downstrokes come really easily to him. He does those all over like the Tornado of Souls, arpeggios and stuff in there too. Be sure to watch Weekend Wankshop 200 for a full lesson on that one as well. Incredible solo. Knowing what I know about Marty's playing, I'm gonna guess that he probably does a downstroke and a pull off, followed by a downstroke on the D, and then just starts the whole thing over. So it's all downstrokes. Down, pull, down, pull, down, down, pull, down, pull, down. I think that's how he does it. Using the consecutive downstrokes, you can get a really aggressive sound. It's like really snappy, you know, lots of attack on the strings. So I would guess that's how he's doing it. But myself, I like up, pull, down. Your mileage may vary. So the entire first arpeggio section should sound something like this. And I love the lick that follows this. Really cool phrasing here. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off on the B string. I'm gonna play 15, hammer on, pull off to 17, pull off to 14, okay? So only one pick stroke there. Play the 16G, 14B. So that's, next play the same idea but use the 15th fret G instead. So that's, and then play just the pull off lick. Then you're gonna play this series of sliding arpeggios. So what I'm going to do here is start off with a G, which is going to be on the D string 17, G string 16, B string 15. It's a little stair step shape. Play that, and then slide that B string down to 14. Now that you're in this position, play the 16D, 15G, 14B, slide down a whole step to 12. And now that you're here, you're going to play 14 on the D, 12G, 12B, hammer on pull off to 14, and then play this. So that's 14D, 12G, 14D, 11G. Again, I love that section. Now this is followed by one of the more unexplainable things that he plays in here. It's really chromatic and super strange. Check it out. Really unorthodox licks. Start off with the 15 on the high E, pull to 14, pull to 12. Then go back to the 14, okay? After this, what we're gonna play is the 15, 14, pull to 12, and then this is where the chromatic portion of the lick starts. You're gonna play 14, 13, pull to 12. So you've played this. Again, I'm not sure how many pick strokes he's putting in there. This might be more pull-offs than what I'm using. Kind of hard to say. And then go to the B string here, and we're going to play straight down chromatic 4 notes. I'm going to play 16, pull to 14, 15, pull to 14, pull to 13. Now after you reach that 13, slide up a fret to 14, 15, 14 again. It's really important to do that finger slide. Like that. You might just look at the tab and go with your second and third fingers, you know, but do it with your first finger. Then on the G, you're gonna play 16 and 14. It's interesting to notice how this lick kind of decelerates into more of a triplet feel whenever he gets to the G string right there. And then you play the only semblance of kind of a normal lick in this entire thing. good bluesy one. 17 on the high E, whole step bend, 17, 14. Then on the B string, play 17, 14. Now on the B, you're gonna play essentially the same lick. 17 with a quick whole step bend, 17, 14. And then once you reach the G string here, you're gonna play that 16 with a full step bend, pull off to 14, then come back and play the 16 again. Now that note that he lands on, he gives some super aggressive vibrato too. So shake the hell out of that rope whenever you get to that note. It sounds so good. Don't do this mosquito crap I see some of you kids on the Instagram doing. That's not what you want. Shake that thing. Just in case you need a recap, let's start over from where we began. Now we get to the last arpeggio section on the B and high E strings, and this is really tough to play. It's really fast, there's a lot of position shifts, and it's up here on the dusty fret, so every move has to be really precise. So take your time with this one. Start off by sliding into the 14 on the B string, then play this. So this is me playing the 18 on the high E, pull into 14, then the 14 on the B. Notice the little finger roll right there. Do that again. And then just like before, pull, pull, slide, how we did on the low arpeggios. After those two pull-off licks, you're gonna hit that 18 on the E and slide up to 21, right up there to the dot. Now that you're in this position, you're gonna play that 21, pulling off to 18, then play the 19 on the B. Do that again. And then you're gonna hit that 21 and slide down to 15. So this is all pull, pull, slide, just like the first section of the low arpeggio stuff. Pull, pull, slide, pull, pull, slide. Now that you're in this position, you're gonna play. So this is 15 on the high E, pull into 12, then the 14 on the B. Do it again. Hit the 15, slide up to 18. So now so far you should have this. And now that you're here, you're gonna play. So this is the same arpeggio as what you began with there, that 18 on the high E, pulling to 14, 14B. And then here at the end, you're gonna play the 18 sliding to 19, okay? Now that you're in this position, it's gonna feel like E minor. I'm gonna be playing the 19, pulling to 15, then the 17 on the B. And again, pull, pull, slide, just like before. Pull, pull. In this case, whenever we hit that 19 on the high E, we're gonna slide up to 22. After you end up here in the 22nd fret, what you're gonna do is that 22 pulling to 19, then the 20 on the B. It kind of feels like a G arpeggio. Again, and then do just the pull off. So that's 1, 2, 3 pull offs, but don't hit that root note again, because this is where we're gonna go into the last lick, which is based around E minor. 1, 2, 3. Now this last lick is just about as like Friedman as it gets. It's just 3 different inversions of an E minor arpeggio on 2 strings sliding through the neck like this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach up for that 24, again the only 24th fret note in here. I'm gonna hit that note, pull off to 19, then gonna play the 20 on the B string, hit the 19 here on the E, slide down to 15, okay? I'll do it one more time. Hammer on pull off with 19, and then play the 17 on the B. Then the same idea but from this position. So I'm gonna play the 19 on the high E, pulling to 15, 17 B, 15 high E, sliding down to 12. Hammer on pull off with 15, and then the 12th on the B. Those are all E's, B's, and G's. That's just your E minor arpeggio sliding through all different inversions. Really cool lick, I love this one. And that ends all the high arpeggio stuff. So let's hear that entire section again here kind of slowly. And this ends with just a big old 17th fret B string full step bend with some juicy vibrato on top. Now at this point there's these unison bends. I'm not sure if Friedman played those on the record or not, but live Dave jumps in and plays those before his solo starts. So I don't know who plays those bends right there. But I'm playing the 14 on the high E, 17 B. Just bend just the B string up a whole step until you get those in unison. Move up a half step, so now I'm on 15 E, 18 B. Same deal. Then you're gonna move up a whole step here to 17 and 20 on the E and B strings. And then move up a whole step again. So you're on 19 on the E, 22 on the B, and do that one twice. So it's... And this is where Dave's solo starts, with a Dave Mustaine favorite, the 22nd fret on the high E being bent up a full step to E. And he's gonna do like 6 or 7 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you'll notice the 5th and 6th ones there were faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hold it up there, and then for the 7th one we're gonna play, just go ahead and pick it with the bend still held up and let it back down to the neutral D note on fret number 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down. Then he plays a sequence lick. This is great kind of practice warm-up stuff here. Now I'm gonna be playing the, what is that, the 20 on the high E, then the 22, 19 and 20. Go to the B here, 22, 19 on the high E, so that's kind of dueling banjo sound here. And then play the same idea from the B string here, so you're gonna start off on 20, 22, 19, 20, so, and then the last part here is gonna be that 21 G string, 19 B, then back to that 21 G. After this on the B string you're gonna play 19, 20, 22, 22 again with a full step bend. Let it back down to neutral, play the 20, and then on the G string play 22 for that F note. And then he ends with nice little bluesy lick right here on the other side of the neck. Gotta play the high E string here on 12, pull to 11, pull to 10, 12th B, back to 10 on the E. Then after this I'm gonna play the 12 on the B, pulling to 11, pulling to 10, sliding to 8, and then play this. So this is 10, hammer to 11, pull to 10, pull to 8, and then play the 9 on the G, and that's where you end. And that is it for one of the sweetest solos in guitar history. It is a pain in the ass to play this solo, so let's go over it again one more time slowly here to make sure we didn't miss anything. Start with your slide down, slide into your F#7 arpeggios. Sexy little thing on the G here. Sliding up. Weird lick. And the one I like. First of the arpeggios here. And again, that's following the pull, pull, slide, pull, pull, pull pattern. Then the really cool one here. So cool. Weird chromatic thing. Bluesy. Big ass shake. High arpeggios. E minor, unison bends, Dave's high stuff, and the bluesy thing. And that right there, kids, is what good old Jim Ross would commonly refer to as a slobber knocker. Stop the damn match. Thanks a bunch for watching this video. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Ben Eller Guitars. My Facebook page is facebook.com/Uncle Ben Eller. And don't forget, if you like what you see here on my channel, be sure to drop me some support on Patreon at patreon.com Ben Eller Guitars. Well guys, that one is gonna take some practice, so I advise you all to get away from your computer device, pick up that dang old guitar and start playing. Less clicking, more picking.